Philippine Islands, 1945. Soldiers of the U.S. Army fight pitched battles over a patch of jungle in the waning days of World War II. In war, men die. Death is more than a possible future, but a premonition for a certain lieutenant who cannot unsee what he has seen. This is a story about the horrors of war and one possible outcome no one wants to talk about. This episode was written by Rod Serling and directed by Richard Bear. As always, the alternative theories mentioned within may cause anxiety, rage, and disbelief, but that's why you're here, I hope. Kindly consider leaving a like, share, or subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Now, keep calm, but look out for the landmines, both literal and metaphoric. Grab your favorite Shakespeare, it's the Purple Testament. It's the Philippines, World War II, where the American Army is based deep into its jungles. They fight over a bridge connecting two patches of earth. The price to take and hold is steep. One of his soldiers is Williams Fitzgerald, who happened to acquire a particular sense of foresight. He can predict who will go out into battle and be killed in action. Fitz shares his prediction with his captain Riker. He tells the captain that he wrote the day before the names of the 4 most recently killed. Riker doesn't know what to make of it, other than offer Fitz more to drink. Whether it's nerves or delusion, the captain consults Dr. Gunther at the nearby hospital. However, Fitz is also there visiting one of the wounded. While everyone else thinks he'll pull through, Fitz sees otherwise. After passing out, waking up, and learning how reliable his fortune-telling is, he gets into a heated argument with Dr. Gunther in front of his captain. Fitz gripes how everyone only wants to talk about death after it happens. Later at the camp, Captain Riker goes over plans for an assault on the enemy. In a private talk between he and Fitzgerald, Fitz sees the captain's face glow. He tells Riker he is not coming back from the mission. Defiant, Riker stands firm that the visions are imaginary and coincidental. Privately, Riker removes his wedding ring and photos from his wallet. Out in the camp, rumors about Fitzgerald's clairvoyant visions have spread. This sort of thing happens when you have a mental breakdown in the hospital. The soldiers look to him for answers, wondering if they are chosen not to return. In a convenient, coincidental truth, Fitz reassures his fellow soldiers that he sees nothing. The mission goes as planned. Filipino guerrillas take out the enemy guns, and American troops liberate more of the island. The cost, however, was one good captain. Riker fulfills Fitzgerald's prophecy by being the sole KIA. War stinks. Dr. Gunther makes a surprise appearance and tells Fitz he's been reported back to division. Fitz packs up his gear to escape the war for a couple weeks of rest. Just one more look into the mirror to see who stares back. Lieutenant Fitzgerald sees his face glowing with the strange light. Taking his frustrations out on the mirror, he is given no time for solace, and his driver rushes to take his bag. It's said that the road ahead is perilous and littered with mines. Fitz takes a casual glance into his driver's face and sees they are both headed towards their doom. The camp left behind is quiet with soothing sounds of a harmonica. Soldiers rest and read letters from loved ones. Their moment of peace is disrupted by an explosion far into the distance. They willingly mistake it for thunder and go on living their war. The most obvious theme of the Purple Testament is the trope of predicting the future, specifically death. The episode does not suggest the newfound power as a mixed blessing, but a total curse. Akin to the lottery, just the rumors of a sweepstakes winner has folks come out from the woodwork wanting a piece of the action. However, there is another subtext. This is the second episode in a row dealing with war and the opportunities to cheat death. Just like The Last Flight, the chance for escapism or making one's own fate is discarded and refused. Never does Lieutenant Fitzgerald or his Captain Riker contemplate what if. What if they would change their immediate plans? What would be the consequences in saving their own lives? The question is not explored. Just go out there and die. In modern light, this would be described as nihilistic, a world without hope. Worse, a world where independent thought is not considered and perhaps penalized. Yet, without hope is exactly how Fitz exits the story. He is sent away, knowing there are dangerous mines laid before him, and not allowed to wait for engineers to clear the road. Fitz is literally rushed to death, rushed to follow orders. The faults, the failures of his orders are not second-guessed. He goes out there and dies. This episode wasn't created in modern day, however. Besides the limitations of a story told in less than 30 minutes with commercials, many of the audience at the time were veterans of World War II as well as the Korean War. Many sacrificed their lives. And I don't think even a Twilight Zone episode would dare depict a soldier thinking astray with the delusion of choice. Speaking of delusion, there is another alternative theory, an optional theme to consider. This is war. Men die, but no one wants to discuss death before heading out to face the enemy. Even Fitz mocks this culture of self-delusion when he berates Dr. Gunther for wanting to take a closer look at a recently deceased patient. The episode's best example is the explosive exclamation mark at the end. They know there's mines out there, yet they willingly choose ignorance and smooth over Fitz's death and of his driver for thunder on a sunny day. Because in war, talking about death can't get in the way of much bigger laid plans. This is a good episode to catch during the 1980s era of syndication. During a time where the TV gave us very few options of entertainment to choose from, it kept our attention when we didn't have the distractions of emails, text messages, or constantly staring into our mobile phones to see how many new likes we get. By the way, this is a good time to give this video a like. I enjoyed how scenes shot in an obvious soundstage resulted in eye-popping black and white contrast for something depicting the jungle outdoors. It's a mini-war movie with exposition of what's at stake in a microcosm of a much larger theater. However, it's not the 80s anymore, and in our diminished attention span, shortcomings of the episode are spotlighted. First of which, we are introduced to Fitzgerald in the middle of his story. We're not there when he first discovers his ability, nor when he drafts his Deadpool list. He already is a believer, leaving the audience with no choice but to take his word. Personally, a directorial difference of opinion I have is how Captain Riker tipped the audience he believed in Fitzgerald's predictions. I would have Riker continue playing the skeptic and reveal his ring and family photos to the audience after he was killed. I think it would have been more of an emotional punch. If you're wondering why the hospital looks familiar or vaguely out of place for the World War II jungle, it's the exact same set seen in 16mm Shrine, with sandbags and other different props. And yeah, there is photographic evidence of two-story hospitals from the Philippines during the Second World War. If you're a fan of the Twilight Zone Companion, written by Mark Zickery, you'll learn little else about the episode other than some post-production drama. I give The Purple Testament 2 dimensions out of 5. It does have a couple tropes, tag them war and supernatural character. This is Mr. G of Synergy leaving you with these final words. Looking into a man's eyes can sometimes reveal where they're going. A short trip, a long stay into the Twilight Zone. Check out other videos on the channel. Thanks for watching.